Hello, everybody. We've all heard the term psychosomatic. What does that mean? It means that basically our mind, our brain, is causing something to happen that otherwise would not, in our natural process, it would not happen. For example, it's quite possible that you could have an illness or an apparent illness like headaches or even problems with different parts of the body that are not happening because there's something wrong with the body. They're happening because the brain, the mind, is telling the body that this is true. The brain is controlling what's happening. I could have a rash, for example, on my arm, and it could be, quote, psychosomatic. There could be a reason why the brain is telling me that there should be a rash, and not only telling me, but producing a rash. The brain controls a good deal of we saw this when we were looking at our phenomenal reality. The brain is telling us what's out there. And we have to trust it. But it's true that often the brain causes something to happen in our body or in our minds that's for our own self-interest, but we are not aware that it is caused by the brain. We think the source may be coming from somewhere else. And a good example of brain control possibly is feeling tired and sleeping. Well, last I recall in my reading, scientists really haven't uncovered the absolute need for sleep. Now, one explanation of why we sleep 1/3 of our life is back in the evolution age. Man had to deal with so many hours of darkness. And in those days, in darkness, there wasn't much really that primitive man could do. You couldn't hunt. You couldn't work inside or outside. They didn't have electrical lights. There was virtually nothing for a man or a woman to do during the dark hours. And so in order that they not pass very slowly, nature devised, it came about through evolution or by God's design, that nature created sleep. And sleep makes those dark hours where we can't be very productive that go by very fast. Now, some people may argue with me. There are processes that do happen while we're sleeping, but I tend to think that the brain is versatile enough and powerful enough. It could do those processes while we were awake. And probably it does do some of them while we are awake. So I do not see a cogent need for sleep. And there are some people, as examples, they're extreme, but they basically don't get along with maybe an hour of sleep, and they're perfectly alert. And it goes to show you that it is possible. Now, another example of the brain control, and this is an extreme one, aging. Is aging necessary? Why can't we all stay as vibrant and young as we are when we're 30 years old? Why do we have to age? Excuse me. Well, my answer is we don't have to age. This is programmed into our body. It is controlled by our brain, again, through probably through the interaction with the DNA, our DNA structure. We are programmed to have a life that is limited. That currently, I think the outside limit of what how many years we can live is about 120. Although between 80 and 90 is what most people have as far as life expectancy, 80 and 90 years. I'm 86. I'm going on 87. But it's an interesting question. Why do we age when biologically it's not physically necessary? At least this is my opinion. I'm not a professional in that area, but I'm very well read, and so the brain is doing a lot. There are some extreme examples now. People that have experienced the stigmata, where Jesus' wounds appear in their body, in their hands, in their feet, and in their side. They now is that miraculous, or is the brain doing that? Is the brain creating a stigmata? I don't know. It could be one, or it could be either. And so lots of things that do happen to us in our body can be suspect. There isn't always a biological reason for them. Sometimes it's the brain doing what it feels it needs to do. And so the brain has a lot of control over our life, more than we could ever realize. But don't give up. We are free. We do have ultimate control, but on a day-to-day basis, it's our brain that's basically calling the shots. Thank you for listening to me.